Nu, ko, joprojām esam Rēzeknē, un šodienas trešā noslēdzošā saruna ar viesi no Amerikas. Viņu vārds ir Jordans, un kāds ļoti interesants fakts. Tad Jordans ir precējies ar latviešu meiteni, un viņu pirmais randiņš bija dienā. Jūs visi to atceraties, kad Latvija vinnēja Amerikas hokeja izlasi, un nākamajā dienā bija brīvdiena. Tā kā tas bija viņu pirmais neoficiālais randiņš, un kā redzat, tas, ka Latvija vinnēja Ameriku, nav neko izjaucis, un mēs redzam Jordanu jau kā precētu vīru. So it's nice to have you here, Jordan.
It's nice to be here.
Yes. We spent almost 3 hours driving from Riga to Rēzekne, and I didn't ask some really important questions. So we have you're Jordan Fieser. We called you a freelancer from United States. Maybe you can tell for the people who don't know you yet, who are you beyond the labels? Who are you?
Well, I am, of course, as you know, I am from America, but I'm married to a Latvian lady here. Yeah, we met in a very different part of the world, and I was working as part of a humanitarian organization, and she met in the same country, and we both fell in deep love and moved here and found a way of living here currently.
How was it for you to come from such a big country as America to tiny country, Latvia? What were the differences you noticed first?
Well, as I stated to you before, but for those who don't know, America is they're to themselves. They can be to themselves at times, and what I've noticed with Latvians, they can also be, but in a different way. What I can describe it as is Americans tend to. So let's describe like a social aspect in like walls, two walls. With Latvians, what I've noticed is they have a very high outer wall. They don't like small talk. It's hard to maybe get to know them at first, but I don't know, maybe at an event or a movie, concerts, you somehow get a connection. They don't have a deep wall, almost no deep wall. You keep those friends for almost life, and they're very deep. You don't ask, how are you, and just expect good. You expect a full vomit of answers. But with Americans, it's a little different depending on the area, but expect a almost no outer wall, but in an impossible, impenetrable deep wall. You're most likely not going to get a deep friendship unless you've been with them your whole life.
Did you have any struggle dealing with these two walls in Latvia?
With these two walls? In Latvia, yes. Yes, depends on the people. In most cases, I do understand a little bit of Latvian, but sometimes it does cause a barrier. But I have broken through a couple of walls. But yeah, it is quite difficult. You have to get to know the person, and it is good in a way because it's. I just view that the people really value deep connection more, and I think it's changed my view on a lot of social aspects too.
Maybe you can describe the city you're coming from.
Well, I am from the city of Seattle. It is in the northernmost west part of mainland United States. If you don't know geography, you have California, then you have Oregon, and then you have my state, Washington, and there's where my city is. A bigger city, more dark. Winters are dark and cold. You won't see sunlight, and summers are pleasant and beautiful.
When we were driving to Rēzeknē, you told some stories that it's most expensive.
It can be one of them. It is considered one of the most expensive. Not top like number one, but maybe number 5 or a little bit lower. But it is very, very expensive.
And the other thing you told that there are many addicts, right? on the
Yes.
streets.
Yes, Seattle has gotten really bad, really, really bad.
Why so?
Well, Seattle was, I don't know exactly why Seattle was this way, but Seattle was a very artistic, very, very artistic city. It's where grunge music started. And in some terms, also, some people may view it as a very dark city. Also, you don't have much sunlight throughout the year. People are very depressed. I don't know. I think it can influence behaviors, families, and I don't know, attitude towards children. A lot of drug addictions or misuse of them. Most of them, or at least a lot of them, I can say, come from a deep hurt. And there are a lot of hurt people in Seattle.
Did those circumstances affected you as well? Like
And-
the environment, the vibe?
I mean, in terms of me abusing it, no, I did not. But I did have friends. I was around people. I worked with people who did abuse, or who actually maybe one person who was a drug dealer as well.
But why did you have had this, let's call it, line that you are not using drugs or alcohol or some other stuff?
Because I had when I was younger, I was medicated by psychologists at age of 7, and I did not want to add any more. I did not like the state I was in. I did not like the meds I was on, and I didn't need to add any more pain to me.
Can you maybe describe more this situation?
Yes. So when I was younger, I was diagnosed with a couple of mental illnesses, and at the earliest age of 7, I was prescribed heavy stimulants and later around 8 antidepressants. It did change who I was. I was very stiff. A lot of those medications did not work, actually made symptoms a lot worse. And when I was in Seattle, due to also the lack of vitamin D, I was also not in a good place in my life as well. But I didn't want to add any more of that as well.
But how you remember how they gave you this diagnosis that you're ill? It sounds like something really like heavy, important.
Well, I'm pretty sure some of you have heard of ADHD and the autism spectrum. Now, at that time, they still had Asperger's as the classification. They don't anymore. They now merge it to autism. Now they call it high spectrum. My parents felt, due to the fact that I was pretty hyper, hence the fact, the H part. ADHD stands for attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder. And there's ADD too, but there's no hyperactive. I was uncontrollable in some ways at a very early age. I could not pay attention. I was very, I guess in some senses, disobedient, wild in a way. It was hard to keep me or calm me down. It was like I was jumping wall to wall, metaphorically speaking. And schools also, I think there was a meeting with my parents, and multiple times with my parents, about, I don't know, wanting me to be on medication so they can handle me. So during those diagnoses, I was prescribed stimulants to help calm my impulses and my hyperactivity. And the autism was more about the anxiety.
If I also metaphorically wanted to step in your shoes, can you describe how it was to have this ADHD syndrome? But did you felt like it's okay, it's normal, or also you noticed that there is something not right?
Well, when I was younger, I didn't know any better. So you could tell me what I had, but I thought it was just normal because I was a little boy. Um, when I grew older, of course, because of all the medications I was taking, I was completely numb to the fact of what I was feeling. So I wasn't super hyper. I was pretty stern and, yeah, I guess you could say muted because of all the medications. I was on a lot at that time. And it wasn't until I got off them when I was around 19 that I started to realize, oh, I still have them, and I have to learn how to deal with them in this real world. Um, and learned a lot, and I am still learning. The hyperactivity part isn't much of a big issue. I'm not jumping off the walls anymore. I guess you can say you grow out of the hyperactive in a sense, but it mutates to another form. So, like maybe thoughts going at 1,000 kilometers an hour, or thoughts randomly switching. Um, there are a lot of things that I've noticed that have switched from being child to adult.
Can you maybe go more into details how you dealt with this ADHD syndrome when you were like 19, correctly, right?
When I was 19,
Yeah, like when you grow up
when I grew up,
and,
okay.
and you stopped using medicine.
Well, of course, I felt a bit more free from them, but of course, it gave me with the meds, of course, it was easier to focus. Without them, it seems, I guess, in a sense, impossible. Maybe it's untrue. It is untrue, but it's it definitely made a difference. So I had to learn to. I guess I still am learning how to focus better.
Is there any like tips and tricks? Because in Latvia, we recognized this ADHD only, I think, in last 2, maybe 3 years. And before that, also, people thought, okay, you just have a bad behavior, or you have no discipline, and that's why you are like a bad person. And they thought, oh, okay, society turned back on those people. Right now, what people are doing, they are using medicine, but as I heard from you, the medicine is not the answer. So you
No.
need to search other ways. So maybe there are some tips and tricks. Tips and tricks.
Well, one thing that has been working for me is consistency and rhythm. I was also very spontaneous, so sometimes I would go to bed at 12, sometimes at 3, or I would get up at random times. Now it's been a little better. I've noticed a change in my thoughts and how I functioned. Also, I think a very big part is diet, what you eat. Um, I don't know about you, but in the States, the food is very synthetic. A lot of it. Now there are farmers markets. I told you there are farmers markets you can go to, but they're not as many as you would go to a grocery store. Maybe there is like I think in Walmart I saw somebody get a 5-kilo bag of sugar in Walmart, and you have a lot of pure garbage with not much nutrients. And I think a lot of like symptoms pop out more easy, or are almost not impossible to manage, but more difficult to manage because you don't have the proper nutrients. Like brain fog, I deal with that, or focus. There are herbs, of course, that help with focus. Um, Making some teas, like for instance, something like lion's mane. Lion's mane is a mushroom. I use that sometimes to help me throughout the day. A consistent diet with a lot of vitamins. I think we don't eat enough vitamins, like vitamin Bs, vitamin As, vitamin Es. They're very essential for cognition. And ADHD and autism, they work differently. They need more of that. They need more nutrients, of course, and yeah.
Was it hard for you to accept that you're different than other people?
Yes, it can be hard too. I guess the thing is to learn not to identify with it, meaning like we all have issues, we all have certain problems, and I think one of the things that it's really easy to do, very easy to do with those, is to say, I'm not normal, or this is just me. Well, I think all of us have different challenges, and we're here to learn to work with them. We need to learn how to manage it, and it's the same with these things. Some people have it a lot harder, yes, a lot harder, but there are ways to work with yourself, and we have the tools, and we actually have a lot of more knowledge about it too now, and the continual knowledge of it and how to handle it.
I think also a big part in this process is society, because there is no us and they. Like, it's my English, sorry, but like there is no difference that you and me, it's us, we all together, right? And how you felt like the vibes from society? Did they accept that you're different, or did they punish, or did they do some positive things?
To answer your question, if I understood it correctly, to the best of my ability, I
Yeah.
think I understood it. It's just like, I don't know how they answer that right. In my society, it's very mixed. It's accepted and not accepted. Older generation doesn't accept it, says it's overdiagnosed, or claims it doesn't exist, claims it's a political or a big pharma conspiracy, or I guess you can name it. There are those who accept it, but then there are those who just medicate and ignore the problem or try to hide the problem. And if I'm answering your question, if I feel, how do I feel about society? I mean, I feel mixed about it. At the same time, I'm also not looking for society to, validate validate it. At the same time, I'm trying to learn to work with it too. I think it's also healthy not to care or feel like you need to be validated by society, because society can say whatever it wants, but it doesn't change the situation in the end.
Did your parents try the different ways than medication in the beginning?
I don't actually. I don't know. I don't. I was very young, so maybe some vitamins, but that's about all I remember.
And how this diagnosis affected like your relationships with your family?
It doesn't really affect them as much as you. Are you talking about, am I angry with them or am I upset with them and about the past? I guess I had to learn how to move on from it. Not in a way of forgetting it, but I mean, of course, I love my parents. I don't think they did anything without thinking the best of me. I can't say the same for a lot of other parents, but I know for my parents it was exactly that. Of course, I've had to learn to forgive them for that and learn how to work for it myself. I mean, they can't do everything right in this world. So my relationship with them is, I mean, in regards to this, well, I guess I still need to work with it, but I have forgiven them over this. And yeah, I think it is good to work on healing relationships with.
Yeah, I think also it's really important whether you have any issues. You need to forgive and you need to move on. You need to heal the bad things and yeah, just move on. Other thing you were telling me while we were driving to Rēzeknē was your addiction to video games. Maybe you can tell more about it.
Well, maybe it's not really so much as a classic addiction, but I think addiction is anything that causes it almost feels like a prison and you can't escape it. I would call that almost like the video game. It was like a way for me to hide from social interactions. That was more of the Asperger's side. Now, it's no excuse, but it was a lot harder for me due to a lot of things in my teenage years. Was more unwilling to be social, so to hide a lot of the pain also from I had some past traumas. It was a good way to hide.
How you started playing? When you noticed that it's like your safe place?
What year or what age was I? I was around 15, 16. Yeah, around 15, 16 is when it really became an issue and started to become.
And how did you felt when you're playing the game? Like the characters understand you, or what was that?
Well, it was an instant dopamine. It- if you don't know what dopamine is, it's like a click. It's not like a pleasure, but it's like a click. It acts like something. It works together with pleasure, but it acts like almost like a reward for learning or something like that. But with video games, it's almost like it's natural and unnatural at the same time. It creates an instant one. And the thing is that it doesn't matter how many hours I play it, I never feel satisfied. And I want to continue. And after that, maybe 10 hours go by and I missed all my things I need to do, or I completely neglected everything. So during the time I'm playing the video game, I'm trying to satisfy that empty hole. But afterwards, I completely neglected everything. I feel terrible about myself and neglected my pain and everything. And I haven't worked on anything on myself, so I feel completely terrible.
I think many people right now are hiding while they are playing video games, just to be in their safe place and to get the dopamine, as you mentioned. When you realized that, okay, maybe this is a issue, it's a problem.
When?
When? Yes.
This was more recently. This is more recently, in the past year or two.
And did some other people told you, or you realized by yourself?
In this past year, it was actually family. So it was my wife. So people who care and love about me.
And the first reaction from you was?
I mean, it took a couple of conversations, maybe multiple conversations. I've realized it is an issue. It pulls you away from reality. It really does pull you away from reality. Just like most things. It pulls me out of marriage or responsibilities. And again, it's just another loophole, like I explained when I was younger. Responsibilities and all of that, it's a loop. It's another loophole.
And how did you deal with the situation? Did you like stop with a knife, or you just played not 10 hours but 5 hours? How was your way?
Well, I mean, the process right now, of course, is I'm trying to replace it with my rhythm and maybe with learning something, actually. So instead of actually doing something unproductive, I'm trying to do something productive. Replace that dopamine, instant dopamine, with maybe something more slow and something that actually does produce results.
And what are results? Does it help? Like,
Well, it does. Well, it makes me feel like I'm learning something, and it makes me feel like I can use it. And the thing that I'm doing right now is, of course, I'm trying to learn how to, because it's something I am working towards. I'm trying to learn the software, where I'm trying to learn software development. It's very a lot of hard work that needs to go into it, but it brings me joy, and it does feel. I wouldn't say completely fills the hole, but it's a lot healthier. It feels like.
have you tried some physical activities?
Mm-hmm.
Does it work?
Of course, it also works. It's also a slow dopamine. Now, maybe not as much as I do, but I do. I do like to run, but I do mostly walk since it's really cold right now. So
You're a long distance runner, or
When I do run, I do long distance.
How many kilometers?
Um, Depends on the run. Sometimes 2-3 kilometers per burst, but I do run more quicker.
So I realized that we live nearby, and I think we can run sometimes together when it's not so cold outside. Because right now it's terrifying, and
Oh, yeah.
also slippery as well.
Oh, yeah.
So from all your experiences, good and bad, did you have any conclusions, like things you can say to the people who struggle with the same issues as you?
Yeah, just my thing is don't, especially from all of those, is to first of all don't identify yourself with those issues. I think one of the issues in this society, and I don't like to. I'm trying to be a bit more positive because it's so easy to go, what's wrong with this world? But one of the maybe downsides right now is there's a lot of shame upon things. And I think one of the things is to not shame yourself and beat yourself up. I think that makes things worse. I think it's really important to pick yourself up and move on, especially if you mess up. Messed up multiple times, I still do. And especially in this world, it doesn't reward you for beating yourself up, but you have to keep going. You have to keep up going and move forward. And of course, not to be afraid of pain. This world is full of pain and it's hard to deal with. And I think when it comes to drugs and all of that, I think like drugs and alcohol, like when you completely submerge yourself in it, it's very hard to get out of. And it also does, it also can damage your life. I told you the story of, I mean, I have a couple of stories of seeing people. Seattle's really bad with drugs, and not just like pot, but like with heroin and fentanyl, if you've heard of fentanyl. But one story is I was working at a dine-in restaurant in the Seattle area, and I was serving this lady at the window, and I could definitely smell pot under her breath, and not just a little bit, a lot. The skunk, the smell, the iconic skunk smell from it. You're not supposed to drive with it. It's worse than being drunk under the or being driving under the influence. So our restaurant, actually, when you drive out from the window, you have to go forward and then turn left because there's a massive barrier or wall that you'll hit if you don't. And it's pretty easy to turn, but this lady turns to me and says, "Oh, well, thank you," and floors it, hits the gas pedal, and all I hear is the brake. And as funny as it maybe was to me before, it was really sad because actually I don't even know if she had a concussion. It sounded like she had a concussion because she hit pretty hard, but she drove off like nothing happened.
And are there other stories you experienced?
Maybe not. Well, I mean, maybe not super scary stories, but I mean, I had to deal with a person on heroin coming in. Not much I had to deal with except cleaning the bathroom because actually it leaves a really nasty smell, especially if they do it from the foil, the smoking from foil. The issue with the heroin in Seattle and most of the U.S. is drug traffickers and dealers. I don't know if it's cheaper. I wonder if experts can correct me on this, but sometimes they put fentanyl, lace it with fentanyl, which is around, I think, 50 times stronger than heroin, or sometimes carfentanil, which is 100 times stronger than fentanyl. A couple milligrams of that is enough to kill many people. And you see a lot of people being killed by fentanyl, and it's one of the, I think, reasons is because heroin is being laced with fentanyl. What makes it sadder is our city has I remember when I was 14, they were mentioning in our public schools that the state is opening injection sites for people that are abusing these so they can safely inject, which I think is a terrible way to feed these people and not solve the problem.
What's your suggestion? How we can solve this problem?
Well, for those with heroin, the thing is with heroin and those, it's like prescription, I believe, in a sense, is you have to slowly come off. Because a withdrawal can kill you, especially with heroin, or if you're really doing fentanyl will kill you just by going in the term we call cold turkey, which means completely coming off it. I think the idea with the safe injection sites was to help people wean off, but they're not really regulating it. These people are just coming for more, which is really sad. I think like to wean them off, but also to get them in a dopamine addiction that helps them. I think what you guys are doing is amazing. Sports gives a really, slow at first, but it gives a really strong dopamine and a natural one, a very healthy one at the end. And something like that can really help. There are other things. It's mostly trying to break out of the habit with something healthier.
But we heard your stories, and there are so many stories, like bad stories, what happened to those who use drugs. But still, like those bad stories are not scary enough to stop people from using drugs or trying drugs for the first time. So how do you think why people still choose, whether it's drugs or alcohol or other things to deal with their problems?
No, like I said, it's like a mask. It's super easy to just take a substance, hide away from your problems. Like I said, video games is a way for me to hide from my pain. Not 100%, but most of the times it's caused by hurt. And people who want to, sometimes the pain is so intense they don't want to deal with it. It's super easy to want to have pleasure, and then it morphs into trying to escape the pain. I'm going to say it. People who struggle with pornography, it's the same thing. It's just a way to feed that, I guess, in a way for that man to desire the, I guess, the affection that they're missing, the, what's the word? I'm losing my words with it. Affirmation. The affirmation, it's so easy to do that for a lot of men. And they're hiding away from their real pain, they're hiding away from, or they're trying to replace it with something that actually makes it worse, like pornography or also drugs.
But I think, and I want to say a big thank you for your story, you shared today. I think it's really, it shows your braveness that you are open to speak about it publicly, because your example, I think it's really important for those who struggle with same thing like you, and also for the society, because sometimes because of there is no information and you don't understand what's happening, and you're judging or blaming people for some things. But when we know, then it's easier to deal with the everyday life. So big thanks to you, Jordan. And what are your plans for the nearest future?
Well, me and my wife are going to be traveling back to the United States, back to Seattle actually for some time. She's going to visit my family, and I will be working over there for some time. And yeah, we're going to try to start our life there for some time.
Okay, then best luck to you, to your wife and your family, and all the plans and things you're going to do. And jā, paldies. Šodien ar mums bija Jordans no Amerikas, kurš kādu brīdi bija šeit Latvijā un tagad atkal dodas atpakaļ uz Ameriku. Man šeit ļoti vērtīga saruna, ļoti atklāta saruna, un šādi stāsti tā kā atver acis, bišķīt vairāk ieraudzīt to, kas notiek mums apkārt, un saprast arī to, ka tās problēmas viņas ir īstas, un no viņām nav jābaidas, no viņām nav jābēga, un problēmas ir iespējams risināt. Tāds nopietnas saruna mums šodien sanāca, un par to vēlreiz paldies Jordanam, un visiem saku uz tikšanos, lai jums veicas.